no, it wasn't some like weird conspiracy group that apparently does hand motions to signal who's a member, which is somehow related to the Care Bears being voodoo, and voodoo is evil. Like, all of those things mashed together is bad. Oh, this one has BRENDON URIE on the cover. Alexei's online. Hi, Alexei here. Welcome back to my channel, where I lay them about stuff on the internet and think about Bye Sister like I think a pretty normal amount, at least once a week. Dawson conspiracy theories. So I'm currently working on a video on Haunting Adeline, which is like a dark romance book that has inspired a lot of criticism for its taboo subject matter. The news that it is receiving a movie adaptation has got it going viral again, but you know, I had to read the book to give it a fair shake, if you will, and I only just now finished said book, and I just knew that I was not going to get a video out by Sunday morning, so I'm giving you some reaction slop. Basically, there is a lot of conspiracy theory stuff happening in Haunting Adeline. Like, the B plot is taking down corrupt government officials who have a child trafficking and sacrifice ring. Which now it's like, oh yeah, but this was written and published in like 2021. That has led me to thinking about Shane Dawson conspiracy theory videos again, because I loved those in middle and high school. Could not get enough of them. So we're gonna be watching a few of them together today, and I'm gonna be reacting to them. And part of my reaction content is going to be a fun little tier list. We've got Not a Real Conspiracy, I Think I'm Getting Better, Bye Sister, and wow, that's actually disgusting. I am looking at some re-upload videos. This one is Donald Trump conspiracy theories. It's interesting that this one is removed, but I think he has a Hillary Clinton conspiracy theories video still up.
Hey, what's up you guys? Yes, today we're gonna be doing some more conspiracy theories. And today we're gonna start with what everybody's been requesting and what I have been researching like a fucking crazy person, and that is Donald Trump conspiracies. Alright, so we're gonna start with a theory that is probably the most popular about Donald Trump, and the one that's honestly the most believable. And that is that he is in the Illuminati. Okay, so obviously people think Donald Trump's in the Illuminati because he's powerful, he's rich, he's famous, and now he's president, which nobody saw coming. People said there must have been something else going on. How did he get elected? Well, maybe it wasn't the people that elected him. Maybe it was the other members of the Illuminati. So here are just a few pieces of proof and evidence to show that he really is. So first is the hand signal that he does all the time. So the hand signal I'm talking about is this. So we've talked about this before. Jay-Z and Beyonce have both done this in concerts, and this symbolizes 666, which is the sign of the devil. And Donald Trump has done this hand motion in pretty much every speech, on every talk show he's ever been on, and literally every time he's in public. So that's not the only hand signal he's done that shows that he has some relation to the devil. He also does this a lot. So this V-shaped symbol is another sign that you worship the devil. There are pictures that go back in history of different devil worshippers doing that sign. And guess who else does that sign? Now I know a lot of people are thinking, oh, this could just be a coincidence, but this next hand signal that he does all the time is really something creepy. So Donald has been seen and photographed doing this numerous times. Now you're thinking, Shane, that's just the number 2. Yes, it is, but not in the way that he uses it. So what this means is the opposite of this. So this is the universal sign for peace. And what's the opposite of peace? And if there's anything Donald Trump loves, it is not having peace.
See, I don't even know where to put this already, because the thing about the Illuminati that's literally never made sense to me is like, if they're so top secret and stuff, then why are they having their members constantly doing hand signals and shit? I mean, I think like the inclusion of Hitler calling him like a devil worshiper in there is pretty offensive, because I think that in some ways it sort of like sanitizes what a terrible person he was. And I think also kind of in a similar vein, this like, well, the Illuminati got Donald Trump elected thing. It's like, no, it wasn't some like weird conspiracy group that apparently does hand motions to signal who's a member. Like, it was the fact that we have the Electoral College in the US. We don't just use the popular vote. This was from, God, this probably, just looking at the setting in the room, this would have been the first election, and he lost the popular vote for the first election. And then also like part of it is that there are always going to be people who have hate in their hearts. And I think it was very disheartening for a lot of Americans to see how many there were. This conspiracy theory of like, well, you know, it was probably the Illuminati that did it. Oh, Hitler was a devil worshiper. It sort of feels like it trivializes the fact that there are so many people that also believe the really disgusting things that these leaders believe, you know? I think I'm gonna put that in Bye Sister. We're starting off strong here.
Okay, so not only Nostradamus predicted Donald Trump winning presidency, The Simpsons did too. Now this one you've all seen going viral these last couple weeks. It's fucking crazy. So in the year 2000, The Simpsons had an episode where Donald Trump was the president. And there's literally moments in that episode that happened in real life now.
Yeah, because The Simpsons is like a satire show and Donald Trump was, you know, reality star at the time. The Simpsons was doing what's the most satirical, wild thing that could happen. Oh, this crappy reality TV host winning the presidency. We live in the darkest timeline. Like, that's it. I realized I forgot to rate this one, so it is getting a I think I'm getting better, because again, we just so happen to be in the most absurd dark timeline. The Simpsons didn't mean to predict the future. It truly was an accident.
Okay, so getting away from Trump and all of that stuff, let's talk about something that I had no idea was happening, and then when I learned about it, I could not stop falling down holes. So we're gonna talk about chemtrails. Okay, so if you don't know what chemtrails are, basically it's a theory that the government is flying planes over us and dropping off chemicals or fumes or things in the air that are not telling us what it's for, but it could actually be hurting us or fucking up our planet. So if you guys have ever walked outside and looked up, you know how you see like white strands in the air? Like it looks like a plane just flew by, but then sometimes you see like 2 strands going in an X shape, or like 5 strands, or just like a whole sky full of white strands. Well, I always assumed, oh, that's just like from the planes, and maybe planes are flying around a lot today. But why? Then when you look on a normal commercial plane, it doesn't let out a huge white line. So what kind of planes are doing that? Well, the theory is that the government is having these planes drop dangerous chemicals out of the sky in those white lines, and it could be causing psychological manipulation. It could be killing off weak people, kind of like population control. It could be making us sick or giving us diseases, because the biggest business in the USA is medicine. So if they want that business to thrive, they have to be sick.
So people will believe this shit, but they won't wear a mask during COVID, or even today, to prevent themselves from getting an actual virus that actually does make your health worse and your brain weaker and cause brain fog. Like, I have friends that are bedbound because of long COVID, but people are more inclined to believe and be scared of chemtrails. That gets I think I'm getting better from me. Okay, this one is called Pop Star Conspiracy Theories.
So our first conspiracy theory is kind of crazy, and I don't even know if I believe this one, and I believe everything, but this is that John Benet Ramsey is actually Katy Perry. Now for those of you who don't know, John Benet Ramsey was like a little pageant girl who died mysteriously.
Yeah, I can already tell that this is going to go in, wow, that's actually disgusting.
Back in 1996. Nobody knows how she died. A lot of people think it was the parents that did it. A lot of people think maybe she was kidnapped, maybe she's still alive. But the theory is that John Benet never actually died. The parents just pretended like she did, and then remade her into Katy Perry. So people have been putting pictures of them next to each other saying that they looked just like her grown up. They also say that Katy Perry's parents looked just like John Benet's parents. John Benet was a singer, she was a pageant girl, she knew how to perform, and they're saying that it would make sense that that would be Katy Perry now. I mean, there is something really creepy about the fact that they never really solved the murder, they never found the body, I don't think. So, I don't know, I still believe that her lead is actually dead and is being played by an imposter. So you know I believe anything. But what's kind of crazy about the story is I remember Katy Perry admitting that her real name is Katy something else, and she started out as like a Christian singer, and then she tried to be a country singer, she tried to do a bunch of things, and now she's a pop star. So what if before that she was a pageant girl?
Well, that bit's just not a conspiracy theory. That's her talking about how she like started out as a Christian singer. Like, that's just like common knowledge. But speculating that she is a murdered child? That's disgusting, actually. Okay, you're getting a bonus one out of me today. So the conspiracy theory that Shane Dawson offhandedly mentions here is the conspiracy theory that Avril Lavigne is dead and has been replaced by her best friend. I listened to a whole podcast about this. It's called Who Replaced Avril Lavigne with Joanne McNally? And she goes through all of these threads and conspiracy theories, and what she figured out was that some random kid in Brazil started the conspiracy theory on their blog just for fun. So yeah, I mean, I'm gonna put this in I think I'm getting better, because it's disproven, but it's such a popular conspiracy theory, you know?
Speaking of crazy pop stars, this next one scared the shit out of me. So this is a conspiracy that Stevie Wonder isn't even blind. Now listen, first of all, I just want to say, I do not mean to offend the blind community. Being blind is a very hard life.
You know, I think I understand why this is a re-upload.
And I fucking root for anybody who is and has to deal with that. But this theory makes sense to me. So basically what the theory is that he's not as blind as he says he is, and he used it at the beginning of his career to kind of stand out, like, oh look, I'm this amazing musician and piano player and stuff, and I'm blind. Well, here's the proof. Number one, back in the 80s, a singer named Boy George said that Stevie Wonder came up to him at a party and started strangling him jokingly. And Boy George was like, how could he even, number one, find me, and number two, know exactly where to strangle me and know where my neck was if he was completely blind? I mean, a blind person can find me, you know, because of my smell and my fat neck. But Boy George, I don't know. Now this next moment is a little bit creepier. This is from a performance of Stevie Wonder and Paul McCartney, where the microphone fell, and, well, look what happened next. I mean, I don't know. How did he know exactly where it was? How did he know that it was falling? I mean, that's a little freaky to me. Now this next picture is very confusing to me and I don't understand. Here is a picture of Stevie Wonder taking a picture with a camera of Michael Jackson. I mean, what? Like what? He's taking a picture?
So I think this partially comes from the fact that people don't actually understand how blindness works. Most blind people, I believe, it's not that they literally cannot see anything, it's just the amount of light they can perceive varies. I'll take it over to future Alexei to talk a bit more about that. Okay, so I did some more research on how I could explain this a bit better. You are going to be seeing a graphic from the Perkins School of the Blind. There's an example of glaucoma, which is a dog in the middle of a circle that's mostly surrounded by black. Macular degeneration, which has a black circle in the middle of two people like talking to each other. So basically what Perkins School of the Blind actually says is that blindness being complete lack of vision, lack of light, just like complete black, is very, very rare. I also found a whole NBC segment on the speculation that Stevie Wonder is not actually blind.
I can sense that there are people and determine how close they are.
Tracy Simon, a peer support specialist who is visually impaired herself, says she knows from experience these type of stories do not disprove blindness.
I know that it is possible. It's just a very, very learned behavior and muscle memory.
So yeah, this theory is based on a lot of misconceptions about what blindness is actually like. I think it's kind of ableist, and also I think it's a little bit racist as well. So yeah, it's gonna go into Bye Sister. Wow. I really felt like Hank Green there, except with less AI.
Speaking of things not being what they appear, this last conspiracy theory is actually kind of dark, and I'm going to be talking about some stuff that, you know, people might be sensitive to. So if you're sensitive to, well, if you're sensitive at all, you should be watching my videos anyways. We are going to be talking about crisis actors. Now, crisis actors are my favorite thing in the whole world to look up on YouTube. So basically, the conspiracy theory is that every time something really crazy happens, whether it's 9/11 or whether it's Sandy Hook or something like that, the main conspiracy is that those things aren't actually happening, and the government just creates them to get across their agenda. So like, for example, 9/11 was created by the government so that we could go to war, or Sandy Hook was created by the government so we could get gun control. Like that's... Now, do I believe all of those? No. Do I believe some of them? Yes. But what makes it really creepy is the crisis actors. Now, these are the people you see on TV talking about their experience. They'll say like, oh, I was in the Trade Center, or like, oh, I was there in the plane crashing. I saw the whole thing happen. But those people sometimes aren't real. I'm going to show you a video right now that was from the day of the Sandy Hook event where all the kids got shot up in that school. Now, this is supposedly one of the fathers of one of the kids that died. And this is him not knowing that he was on live TV for the first like 10 seconds. Check it out.
They're getting ready to come to the microphone, so we'll listen to that. Okay. My name's Robbie Parker.
Is that not the creepiest thing you've ever seen? He literally was laughing. He literally was like, yeah, we go. We're doing this, all right. My name is, like, that was so crazy to me. It blew my fucking mind. Now, once again, this was supposedly the day his child died. And listen, I don't want to be an asshole. And maybe he's not an actor. Maybe this is the real dad. In that case, I'm so sorry, sir. This is so, but you see why it's scary to me? Now, this isn't the only time a crisis actor has been, like, caught on camera. This next one, to me, is even... So there's a woman that has been found to be in 4 different crises around the country with different hair, different glasses, but it's the same woman. Now, this video is from the Peter Santilli Show on YouTube. Check it out. Now, he is going to show us 4 different cases that have the same woman as the victim. Now, this first clip is from the news when there was a big train accident.
Our train was actually on its side, so it pushed me onto the side of the train.
Okay, so you see that woman, right? Take a look at her. Really take a look at her face. Now let's check out another event that happened across the country. So this is some news footage at the Boston bombing.
Big huge explosion while we were having lunch, and everybody ran for the doors and windows.
Hello, that's the same woman, just a different haircut, and she's wearing sunglasses. Look at them side by side. And it feels so fake with like her purse, and she's just like, oh my god, yeah, this thing just happened, and and then you know when they said cut, she was like, all right, we're getting on a plane, going first class, going to my next event. I don't trust it.
They just have similar glasses, and that was just the style of glasses at the time. Crisis actors are a conspiracy theory so that conservatives don't have to engage with the fact that we very clearly have a fucking gun violence problem in the good old US of A. So yeah, it is a conspiracy theory, a highly offensive one that he was contributing to. And I remember him talking about crisis actors so much because we're making conspiracy theories about dead children again. This is going to have to go into, wow, that's actually disgusting. Oh, this one has BRENDON URIE on the cover. Let's fucking go.
Hey, what's up you guys? Yes, today we're going to be doing some more conspiracy theories. And today's exciting because we have something very different. We have one conspiracy that is about me. But we're going to get to that later on in the video. First, we're going to be talking about Beyonce's twins and whether or not they are the new leaders of the Illuminati. So we've talked about this whole Beyonce and Jay-Z being the leaders of the Illuminati thing before, and a lot of theorists believe that mainly because they've shown signs in music videos and in pictures. They've done devil horns, they've done the 666 over their eyes.
Yes, devil horns. Definitely not just like the punk rock symbol or whatever.
Now, Beyonce giving birth to the new leader of the Illuminati is not something new. People were talking about this back when she gave birth to Blue Ivy. And there's a couple really creepy clues for that. This first one being the creepiest. Supposedly, Blue Ivy's name backwards is also a Latin name for the daughter of Satan. And backwards, her name is URIE. Now, people also think her name is an acronym for something very creepy. Blue Ivy, born living under evil, Illuminati's very youngest. So then Beyonce recently came out and said she was pregnant with twins. This also will give her a total of 3 children, and the number 3 is a huge deal in the Illuminati. It's a very worshipped number. Now, they also worship prime numbers. For example, 3,
3 is also a big deal in Christianity, man.
5, 7, 11, 13.
Yeah, I just think it's really interesting that a lot of his conspiracy theories are about Black people and discrediting Black people's accomplishments.
Now, a lot of theorists think that the twins are going to be the next leaders of the Illuminati, and some of their evidence and points kind of make sense. For example, twins have a lot of powers. They can read each other's minds, they can feel each other's energies, and they have a bond that can never be broken. Now, Jay-Z and Beyonce, who are supposedly current leaders in the Illuminati, have
He's using the twins from The Shining as evidence for this.
had a rocky history. I mean, she's written songs about him with possible infidelity. I mean, they've had their share of problems, and they're still together, and that's great. But if you're going to be the next leaders of the Illuminati, there can be no way that you split up, because if you split up, the Illuminati's fucked. So what better way to make sure you can't split up than if you're related? I mean, just imagine twins taking over the Illuminati. They can fucking hear each other's thoughts. They can get into fights, but they'll never break up because they have that twin bond. That's scary.
I mean, this is another one where I'm like, you're speculating about kids in a way that feels really weird, especially considering, you know, some of the allegations allegedly about Shane Dawson. So I think I'm gonna put that in by sister.
Okay, now before we get to the big conspiracy about me, we are going to do a quick little update on the Mandela effect. So the Mandela effect has really taken over. I mean, everybody's talking about it. And recently, a big singer named Halsey started tweeting about it, and it got very interesting. So Halsey retweeted a meme of somebody that was questioning a lyric from a Panic at the Disco song. Close a goddamn door, not the goddamn door. And then Halsey tweeted that to the Panic at the Disco lead singer, BRENDON, and she said, explain. Well, then he tweeted back and he said, ha ha ha, I can't. That's some Bernstein/Berenstein shit right there. So even he's confused. Even he's like, I don't fucking know. Well, here's a clip of the original.
He didn't write those songs. I mean, he hasn't written any songs recently, but he did not write these songs in A Fever You Can't Sweat Out, and he was very bitter about it.
Song, and it does say a goddamn door. Listen.
I chime in with the haven't you people ever heard of closing the damn door, no.
Okay, now check out the clip of him singing it live, and notice the lyric has changed.
I chimed in with the haven't you people ever heard of closing the goddamn door, no.
What? I mean, he literally saying the goddamn door live. So,
So I did try looking up the lyrics. Music's Match says a goddamn door. Genius says the goddamn door. So reports on that one differ. Once again, he didn't write the song. I think maybe part of why people are sort of mishearing it is the God and goddamn is bleeped out right afterwards, and I think that maybe that's somehow affecting how we perceive the sound. I took a psychology of language class years ago, so that sounds right to me. I'm just gonna put this in. I think I'm getting better. Because, like, it's pretty easily explained. He didn't write the songs. The goddamn door makes more sense, so that's probably why he's singing that now, and like the God and goddamn is bleeped, so I think that affects how we hear it. Okay, I decided I actually wanted to do one more, which is pop culture conspiracy theories, because I was skimming through it and this is a doozy.
We've talked about cartoon conspiracy theories before, and they are very creepy. I mean, a while back we talked about how the Smurfs is actually about Hitler and Nazi Germany, and we talked about how all the characters in Winnie the Pooh are actually different mental disorders. For example, Winnie the Pooh has OCD because he's obsessed with honey, and he's obsessed with counting. Piglet obviously has anxiety disorder. Tigger has ADD. Rabbit also has OCD. He's obsessed with keeping everything clean and in order. Eeyore obviously suffers from very severe depression, and Christopher Robin is completely schizophrenic, which is why he thinks all of these animals are talking to him. But this next cartoon has an even creepier theory, and that's the theory that the Care Bears are actually symbols of voodoo gods. So for those of you who don't really know what voodoo is, it is an old religion that is somewhat satanic. It deals
Yeah, that's gonna go in. Wow, that's actually disgusting. See, here's the thing, okay? A lot of our kind of weird ideas that voodoo is like some evil religion that's only like dark magic and dolls used to curse people come from really racist ideas about Black spirituality and how it was sort of transformed and fused with other cultural practices due to slavery. So basically, voodoo, it's not bad. It's not evil. It's just a religious and spiritual practice that people are weird about because it's a Black spiritual and historical practice.
Black magic, there's sacrifices, and of course voodoo dolls where you can stab into a doll and make people feel pain. It's a pretty dark religion. Well, in voodoo, there's different spirits that resemble different parts of life. Those are called loa, and supposedly each Care Bear represents a different spirit. So first, let's talk about the name Care Bears. So Care Bear is very similar to Care Fours, and Care Fours is actually an area in the world that people say is the heart of the voodoo religion. Now, the Care Bears live in the clouds, which is technically where spirits would live. So now let's talk about the symbols on the Care Bears' stomachs. Now, theorists think that Lava Lot Bear is supposed to represent goddess Erzuli. Now, Erzuli is often associated with the color pink, which is the color of the bear, and Erzuli was the goddess of love and motherhood, the two hearts. Next, we have the Friend Bear. Now, Friend Bear has two flowers that are crossing on his stomach. Now, there's a voodoo god named whose symbol is two roses crossing. And people also don't say the name out loud. Instead, they call him Friend. That one actually freaks me out.
But I feel like that's a thing in like a lot of religions and cultures. My mom was raised on the Big Island, and there's a lot of spiritual beliefs there on like how you should and shouldn't review to the goddess Madame Pele, who lives in Kilauea and is like the volcano goddess there and is very powerful. Again, that's just like kind of a thing that happens in a lot of cultures, you know?
Now there's a Cheer Bear who has a rainbow on their stomach. Now the voodoo god Damballa is also symbolized by a rainbow. Then you have Grumpy Bear, who has a symbol of a raining cloud on his stomach. Now there's a voodoo god named Captain Ogu, and he's very angry, and he has a ship. Now his ship looks just like the cloud on the bear's stomach. Now
What do you mean his ship looks just like the cloud?
let's talk about the way that the Care Bears travel around. They travel around in a magic ship. Now, a lot of theorists said, hey, a lot of the first practitioners of voodoo actually came here on ships because they were slaves. Now, who knows? This could all be bullshit.
What the fuck is wrong with him? Like, I don't know if I have to over-explain that speculating that the Care Bears cloud boat is somehow a metaphor for slave ships, which is somehow related to the Care Bears being voodoo and voodoo is evil. Like, all of those things mashed together is bad and offensive, actually, Shane Dawson.
But one creepy thing is, a lot of the creators of the Care Bears have died in very bizarre, mysterious ways. One of the animators, Leston Myers, disappeared. He left a note behind saying that he was going to find out the truth about where the Care Bears came from. His final credit card bill showed that he had purchased a flight to Haiti, and then nobody ever heard from him again.
That can't be true. Who is this? Yeah, so I looked this guy up. I looked up pretty much every variation I could think of on the spellings of Myers or Meyer, and I searched that name in like the animators credits section of every IMDb listing on Care Bears animated specials that I could find. This guy does not exist. He is just making shit up. I mean, I already said this, I'm pretty sure, but this is going in the "this is disgusting" category because it is disrespectful to an entire like religious, spiritual, cultural belief practice. It is playing on racist stereotypes, and it's also like being weird towards Haiti. 0 out of 10 to this one. Leave the Care Bears and voodoo out of this.
So are these organic, healthy, good cookies from Trader Joe's
Organic animal crackers. I don't really know what makes them organic.
Good question.
the same as these circus-ass looking fucking bag that you get at Walmart?
I was browsing at Walmart today and I came across these cookies.
So like I heard that these are like better than regular animal crackers.
Well, that's where my theory starts. Now, okay, this is not really a theory, it's just real. I do have a theory that we're gonna do later in this video, but that involves a secret location that we have to go to, so strap in for that. But
This is so fucked up on such a deep level. Like,
oh, it should be illegal.
This feels like a lawsuit.
Because I was like, how is that possible? How is that legal? I don't understand. Like, you go to Trader Joe's, like, these are all bougie exclusive items that are like slightly healthier.
This is the biggest Trader Joe's I've ever been in. These are fire.
No, it's the same shit you get at Walmart. And it's not just Trader Joe's that does this. It is everyone. And it's not just food. It's clothes, it's beauty products, skincare, cars. Maybe not cars. But it's every single product and company and everything. It's crazy. Let's go to the kitchen.
I mean, he himself says it's not a real conspiracy theory, but he's just talking about white labeling, which is when a company takes a pre-existing product and slaps their branding onto it. Trader Joe's, that's like how they get a lot of their products. It's how a lot of makeup brands work as well. This isn't a conspiracy theory. Again, even Shane Dawson admits that. It's just like a fairly well-known business fact. It's basically like saying, I heard that Alexei needs glasses and during their videos, they wear contacts. How would you fucking guess? That is definitely going into not a real conspiracy theory. I think that as somebody who's now allegedly an adult, it gets kind of difficult to enjoy conspiracy theory videos, not even like Shane Dawson's, just in general, because a lot of conspiracy theories somehow circle back to like a shadowy group is controlling the government and the media, which then circles back to anti-Semitic stereotypes. And as a Jewish person, I think Pineley made this joke years ago, but we're just not organized enough for that shit. Or like even bringing it back to Shane Dawson's weird, like the Care Bears are voodoo and one of the people involved went to Haiti and was never seen again. That kind of like weird racist bullshit leads to stuff like Haitian immigrants in Springfield, Ohio being accused of eating pets, which then becomes an excuse for the US government to force them to wear ankle monitors. Not to be annoying, but I just don't really think conspiracy theories are fun anymore. Thank you so much for watching. My outro song is Take a Vacation by the Young Vanes, remixed by me. All channel art is also by me. Like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell if you want to know exactly when I post, or don't. Sometimes that notification bell pisses me off. Also, if you want even more access to my life, I have an Instagram. It is Alexei's Online. Thank you so much again for watching, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye now.